And his fourth symphony, the last that he would produce, came in the 1880s during 2 summers that he spent on vacation in the Alps. He very often did a lot of his best composing while he was on vacation, and he would try not to have much social contact with friends and hope that the villagers would basically ignore him so that he could focus on his work. And he spoke often about how he would get such a powerful inspiration from nature during these summer vacations. And certainly this was the case in the Fourth Symphony. We have a lot of oppositions of character. We have tenderness and strength. We have modernity and antiquity, different aspects being brought together in confrontation. This is one of the great delights of listening to Brahms's Fourth Symphony. And I think that it reaches its height really in the last movement. Very famous, a Passacaglia. Now, Brahms was a great aficionado of Renaissance and Baroque music. He himself was a collector of this music, which was far less well known in his day than it is in our own day. He edited many compositions by early composers, and he was certainly intimately aware of the music of Bach, which he treasured. And in one of Bach's cantatas, he found a bass line that Bach had used for a passacaglia being a kind of variations movement in which a bass line is repeated over and over, a rather short bass line, and above this bass line the composer writes different variations on a melody. And it was in this Bach cantata that Brahms spotted a passacaglia bass line that he felt he might like to use. He elaborated it a little bit, made it a bit more chromatic, befitting a 19th century composer, and used this repeating bass line in his Fourth Symphony to underpin the entire finale movement. And we hear it in every possible guise. He repeats this theme over and over again more than 30 times in the course of the movement. We're never without this being sounded either in the bass or in some inner voice of the texture. And then Brahms being Brahms, there's just an infinite variety of different ways of overlaying musical text over this passacaglia bass. It's really magnificent. We go from the most monumental sort of Bachian sound to the most tender, romantic, idyllic sort of Brahms, all in the last movement of this symphony. It's a great capstone to one of the greatest symphonic productions of all times.